watching WBBZ-TV, your hometown Me TV station, Springville, Buffalo.
I hope everyone had an absolutely wonderful St. Patrick's Day weekend. WBBZ was in the St. Patrick's Day parade on Sunday, and it was lovely to see so many of you turn out for the festivities. And later in the show, we'll be welcoming the new president of Shea's Performing Arts Center, Michael Murphy. But first, ladies, let's weigh in on, oh, there's a picture of Michael. Hi, Michael.
He's going to have those seats filled.
Yeah, so, shh, wait till he's not here to say that. But ladies, let's talk about the weekend. Something fell. So we had lots of stuff going on with WBBZ, lots of stuff going on with our ladies, and on Friday night, our very own judge, Penny Wolfgang, was honored at the Buffalo History Museum, right? We've got B-roll here.
Such a beautiful museum, right?
And it was the Giants of Buffalo, and it was so appropriate for Women's Month that it was Women in the Law. And there she is. There's Penny wearing green. Anyone who's anyone wore green this weekend.
I know. We got Jackie.
And it was really, really cool. It was inspiring and empowering. We had 3 judges who had been on the bench for years and years, 3 judges who, when they ran to be on the bench, and this just wasn't what women were doing, and it was so cool.
Beautiful event. Beautiful event. I wish I could have been there, but
well, you can't be everywhere.
I can't be everywhere.
But this event happens periodically.
Right, every so many months they do the Giants of Buffalo, and it's not always women. Oh, excuse me.
And Michael?
It's not. Yep, and it's not always women. It's it's Giants of Buffalo.
I love that.
Maybe people in media, people in politics, just folks that you're going to recognize.
Did you see that cool? They got a cool poster.
Oh yeah.
Is that from the Pan Am?
It's the same artist. It's the same artist. It's the same artist who did there's a Niagara Falls poster, Pan Am style.
That's awesome.
Really, really cool. So that was like the big thank you.
Congratulations to our own Penny.
Congrats, Judge Penny.
And you've got something that you wanted to share.
Yes, actually, Saturday night I went to the Shakespeare in Delaware Park fundraiser, the Fabulous Feast, which they called Macbeth's Banquet. It was a ball, a real blast, and a great opportunity to celebrate the 2nd largest Shakespeare festival in the United States. But I wanted to say that a dear friend of mine, who we sadly lost in December, received the award of the Royal Order of the Upstart Crow. And there's his picture right there. That is the fabulous Richard Hummert. And this award it's so cool. Saul Elkin, the founder and director of Shakespeare in Delaware Park, actually knights the person, and his beautiful wife, Richard's beautiful wife, Darlene Pickering Hummert, stood in for him, or actually knelt down, and it was actually very moving.
Yeah.
And so Saul knighted her in Richard's name as the Royal Order of the Upstart Crow. It's a loving tribute for anyone who has provided exceptional service to Shakespeare in Delaware Park, which he has. And
it's a wonderful tribute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now on Monday, the 27th, a week from today, we are having a very special tribute to Richard Hummert at the Kavanoki Theater, 6 p.m. Anyone can join us who enjoyed his wonderful work in Shakespeare, or his amazing work as Santa Claus, which he has been the cornerstone of the Santa market in Buffalo for, well, ever. And we're going to be there on Monday the 27th at 6 p.m. at the Kavanoki Theater in the main theater area. There'll be music and stories and drinks and food and fun and friends, and just an evening filled with memories.
Celebration of life.
Tribute. Yeah. Check it out on our Facebook page, on actually O'Connell & Company's Facebook page of Richard Hummert Tribute.
Very nice.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And then, of course, we can't forget the parade.
Oh,
the St.
I
Patrick's Day
know.
parade. And,
I love a
and of course,
parade.
WBBZ was there.
Yeah, you were.
We were there with a big old yellow Jeep and a big old red Jeep. And
Yeah.
we were representing the station for Buffalo. Look at all the folks who came out. Look at this.
It was so cool.
It was
so cool.
so cool. It was so cool.
I saw in the Buffalo Club there was even people sitting on the veranda on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, okay,
Look
you're.
at- look at Kim.
See? Green
Look at
fur.
Kim. She was having
Green
a
fur
great
for
time.
St. Patrick's Day.
She has a fur for every holiday.
It's great. It's great. It's
Oh
great.
yeah, this green Audi, seriously,
Oh
a
my
St.
gosh.
Patrick's Day Audi.
So cool.
It was so cool. And I know you were there.
I was there.
were
Rosie
so
and I were.
Oh, the couch!
The couch.
The famous couch! And Judge Penny Wolfgang is on the couch too. Look,
There
there's
she
the
is.
judge. The judge on the couch.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, it was too
Okay.
funny. The guys loved her
I
too.
need a screenshot of that so I
Of,
can have
of
new
Penny
face.
on the couch, the
I wanted to
famous
s-
couch.
yeah, I need-
so
I
funny.
need to do
It was so great.
screensaver. Yeah.
It was so great. Both of us were like, please don't spill beer on us.
I'd say, please spill beer on me, right here. Rosie and I were walking with the Irish Setter Club of Western
There
New
they
York.
are.
There's some
Look
of
at
the
those
royalty
pretty
right there.
dogs.
There were about 15 amazingly beautiful Irish setters. And we walked, they walked, Rosie sat in the front window of the party van, as she is wont to do. And it was just a ball. It was
Does
just,
Rosie fancy herself an Irish setter?
yes, she does. I have to tell you the truth, she does.
Rosie, Irish
Irish
setter.
setter. She's just not, she's not clear on, why they're higher, what they're standing on.
I love it.
But
I love it.
It was a ball. And, any reason that Buffalo can get together and celebrate and
Have a
have
party.
some
Yeah.
laughs.
Yeah.
And, just as long as people are being
missed it
careful,
all.
right?
Yeah.
But it's,
as long as we're being smart.
the tradition of the St. Patrick's Day Parade is, it's always been part of my growing up and
I'm
adulthood.
sad
though.
I had to miss it all.
You had to
Next
miss it
year.
all. Well, Miss
I had to miss
Mercedes.
it all. We'll do it
again
if
all
you-
next year for
if
you.
you missed it, it must have been for a good reason, lady. So
Yeah.
share.
Well,
Where were
we went
you?
to Ohio. My husband is from Ohio. He was turning 35 on Saturday. So we left to celebrate his birthday. He had no clue about anything. So Thursday we started out Cleveland Cavaliers ticket game.
Nice.
Which is funny because I didn't want to tell him, but we had to make it on time, and we had to not. We couldn't tell his dad because his dad would spill the beans. So it was a surprise for his dad, not for him. And then Friday we did dinner and gifts. Got him a pair of basketball sneakers, and how about he put them on like a little kid and wore them around. Yeah, the house. It,
Yeah.
it was so funny. And
That's so cute.
then Sunday we had Saturday a big bowling party for him. So we celebrated
Ohio?
every
You
day.
were bowling in
Everything in
Ohio?
Ohio. Everything in
all right, so
Ohio. So I
bowling's big in
missed
Ohio,
it,
too.
but you guys look like you had so much fun.
Oh, we did.
And there's the thing is that you can always create fun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a parade, it could be an awesome road trip to Ohio, and we're so close to everything.
Yeah.
Well, if Rosie's there, it's always a good time.
She was,
Rosie?
yeah. She's a little hung.
So what's the next big parade? What's the next big parade? What's
I
the
don't
next
know.
big thing? I can't even think.
But weren't you out on the streets talking to people at the parade?
Oh, I was talking with people at the parade. Let's see who I spoke to.
That we could actually show.
That we can actually, the interviews that we can show. Ooh.
Well, there was-
Bridget, what's it like to organize this amazing parade?
It's fun. It's great. Look at all these people out here smiling and having fun, honoring St. Patrick and our Irish Catholic heritage. It doesn't get any better than this.
And today, everyone is Irish. So, Mr. Grand Marshal, today is the big day. What's it like to lead the parade?
That's exciting. I can't wait to get started.
All right.
It'll be a slower walk, but I can't wait to get started.
Happy Parade Day!
Here I am with Bishop Turner's hat,
Bishop Turner's hat, I didn't know.
Bishop Turner was the Bishop of Buffalo 1919 until 1936.
That's a phenomenal
And
hat.
someone preserved his, in those days for fancy occasions, bishops wore tap hats around. Thank God that. I wear it only on St. Patrick's
All
Day.
right, okay. And give us some religious significance for the day.
Oh, you know what it is. Another person just interviewed me, and he said somewhere in the middle of all this, hidden away is St. Patrick, right? That's a problem. He's too hidden. Yeah. St. Patrick, I love all this revelry and fun, but I don't think St. Patrick would actually how shall I put it? Recognize a lot of it.
He wouldn't be marching with us?
Well, he was calling us to conversion to be more like Jesus.
Right.
And I don't know if he liked the fun. I like the fun.
Well, then it's a good thing you're here.
I don't have any green mashed potatoes on St. Patrick's Day, but I have the other stuff. The soda bread and all those things.
The other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. No, not the Guinness. I would if I'm not a beer drinker, though.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And
That
there's
was
the laugh.
so much fun. That was hysterical. He says the other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not the Guinness. Well, anyway.
Guinness is good for you.
It is good for you. We have to go to commercials. So much to talk about. And when we come back, we're going to have Michael Murphy from Shea's Performing Arts Center. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the Daily Buzz 716, and we're excited to have with us from Shea's Performing Arts Center, Michael Murphy. Hello and welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Rosie is taking
Rosie.
to you right away.
Yeah, Rosie. Yeah, don't forget Rosie.
We go way back.
Much like Buffalo, Rosie loves you already. So it's so good to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Thanks for coming down. I'm sure you're busy like all the time because Shea's has so much going on. But let's start before we even talk about the theater. Talk to us about you. Tell us about your background, where you came from.
I'm originally from Gowanda, left the area in 1981 and came back finally in 2016.
They always come back, you know.
Yes.
Well, from what I read, it wasn't planned.
No.
Like you just came back to visit.
I was visiting and some friends mentioned, hey, the guy from Shea's is leaving, you should take his job. And so we laughed and joked, and all of a sudden
the doorbell, I'm here.
I thought, well, I'll check it out, and here I am.
So tell us what you were doing.
I was most recently managing director at the Old Globe Theater in San Diego, a large regional theater that has produced a lot of, well, they do 15 shows a year, but including many shows that have gone on to Broadway or Broadway productions that have gone on to there.
So you did a lot of work on original
Yes.
theater, original pieces, which is a whole different animal, isn't
Yes.
it?
And the Old
lot.
Globe is a very prestigious venue and an awesome stage. Tell us some of the ones that has started there. I know
Well,
that.
the one I'm most proud of is Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which
Yeah.
just played here at Shea's, and that started at the Old Globe while I was overseeing everything. There was a short period where I was overseeing the artistic as well as the general operations. So I'm particularly proud of that. But Bright Star, which was written by Steve Martin, which just played on Broadway last year. Allegiance, which was about the Japanese internment, starring George Takei and Lea Salonga. Started at the Globe and then went on to Broadway, and it played at movie theaters twice this past year.
Yeah.
They recorded it and showed it at movie theaters. So lots of the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, the Full Monty,
Really?
based in Buffalo,
Yeah.
but that started at the Old Globe. Many things over the years.
So you're a presenting house, but you're also a nurturing, producing house.
Very, very much a producing house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know you've got credentials. You come to us knowing what
Yeah,
you're doing because really producing new theater that's God's work. That can be a real.
You did it once.
Right. So it's great to have you
exciting.
back. It's great to have you back
Thank
in
you.
Western New York, and it's great that you've brought all of that experience with you.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, Shea's Performing Arts Center has 3 venues,
Yes,
right?
it does.
You're not just everyone thinks of Shea's as the beautiful, old, gorgeous, amazing house, but then you also have.
We also have 710 Main, which we're getting ready to open a proof by Buffalo Laboratory Theater, and that is wonderfully sponsored by WBBZ. We're grateful for that, yes. And the whole WBBZ is involved in the whole season at 710. And Proof is an incredible play. It was a Pulitzer Prize winner when it first came out 20 years ago now. But it's a brilliant piece of work, and we're very excited about it coming to 710.
And how wonderful that the 710 Theater is made available to the local theater companies, because, you know, the theater district, it's a large district, but there's something about coming down and being actually on Main Street.
Well, it's also the wonderful, as you were saying about the heritage of Shea's, it's the heritage of Studio Arena.
Yes.
And people still have a very tender spot in
Connection to that.
in their home, in their heart, and in their theater going
Very much so.
the process. But at 710, you do make it available to select companies because it is still a union house.
Yes, but there are various companies in town that we work with. There are also some shows we bring in and present there.
Yeah.
And also Narden Academy did their show there, and there's various other projects that are going on there. But it's still that beautiful studio arena space that they had created, and formerly a burlesque house.
Yeah, baby.
We do that.
Nobody does burlesque like Buffalo.
Okay, yes.
But many, many years ago, long before my time. But 710 Main is a great space, and we're really excited that.
And you're renovating.
Correct. We are doing renovations in the lobby and getting ready to do work in the cafe, and then we'll be moving into the backstage areas as well.
So it's just moving forward, moving up, moving on.
Yeah.
Shays is just a gift to Buffalo.
It's just wonderful to open that up, truly, Michael, to everything from professional process, you know, it's high schools that have the professional process in mind, as well as local non-equity theater companies as well as equity theater companies. So it really is an awesome space. How many seats are in 710?
620.
620. It's just a beautiful space for so many events in Buffalo. It treasures so much the local schools and involvement. It's a great
I love that
interaction.
it makes it real. It makes it real for the young people that want to get into it instead of it seeming, you know, just too large for life. It's a possibility.
As big as a 600-seat theater sounds, the way that theater is designed, it's still very intimate.
I agree. I totally
Which is
agree.
Beautifully designed.
unique.
Yep.
Yeah.
The intimacy is great. And a lot of smart people in Buffalo saved Shea's, someone you know very near and dear, your dad, very involved in that. And people who then, instead of letting the former Studio Arena space be taken over as a parking lot or something
Or
else,
condos or some crazy waste.
kept it as a theater. So a lot of smart people in Buffalo.
We agree with you, Michael.
Yeah.
There are lots of smart people.
People with
I
vision.
see some at the table. Smart people here at the table. But let's talk about Shea's. Let's talk about you know, the big house. And you've got tons of shows coming, tons of exciting shows coming. I mean, the lineup is, let's see, On Your Feet is
On
in
Your Feet.
September.
We're starting the national tour of that. As we did with Finding Neverland.
Talk to us about this now. The national tour is coming here to Buffalo and getting their feet here in Buffalo. That's because of Shea's and what Shea's lobbied for. So tell us all about that.
Tony Conti and Al Nocciolino and a lot of other people in New York lobbied to get a tax credit, similar but much less than what the movie production companies get, but which allows productions to start within New York State, upstate New York, and then launch their national tours. And it's a great,
So
great
they don't
benefit.
get that tax credit in New York City.
Win-win.
They
No,
get that
right.
tax credit in upstate New York,
Correct.
which is brilliant.
That's
So we will be back. Michael Murphy isn't going anywhere. And there's
Rosie's
so
got
much
him
more to
pinned
talk
down.
about. She does. Rosie won't let him go. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And the Daily Buzz 716 is back, and we're here with Michael Murphy from Shea's, and there's so much to talk about. Let's jump right in. Just before the break, you did start to talk about On Your Feet, and we distracted you because we wanted to share this wonderful program that Shea's is really responsible for with the tax credits to bring these touring shows to Buffalo first, bringing money into the hotels and into the restaurants and just, you know, all of the great stuff the theater district does for Buffalo. But one of those shows that you've got coming up in 2017, opening 2017, is On Your Feet. And I know we've got some visuals, so tell us about it.
It's an incredible musical, Gloria and Amelia Estefan's story. And it, well, there you're seeing it. It's just beautiful. The dancing, and of course, every Gloria song that you love is just
You're not going to be able to
amazing.
stay in your seats.
No.
Get
And
on your feet.
People get up on their feet. They are up dancing. It is really a wonderful show.
That is so cool. Did you see in the beginning of the clip, Mary Kate, you see the woman kicking her leg in the air?
Yeah.
That reminded me of you.
Just the way I taught her. Good work.
Good girl. Good girl. And then I know that Mercedes wants to have a talk with you about the next show, The Bodyguard.
The Bodyguard. So all of my life, I've loved Whitney Houston, and I've often dreamt about being her.
Are you?
Yeah.
It's a whole new story.
Listen, we can audition. I would love to play Whitney in The Bodyguard. And it's the day after my birthday, so I mean, that would just be a dream come true. You have the power to make my dream
You have the
true.
power.
Yeah.
You have the power.
Walk and
Michael.
roll of Whitney's
Even if I just walk by.
stunt double.
There
You got the hair going.
Yeah.
You got the Whitney hair. Wait, did you just say the stunt double?
Yeah.
The Whitney Houston stunt double?
Yeah, she could walk through the
That
walk
would
and roll.
go into the.
It's not
never
gonna
mind.
it's
no.
not gonna happen.
Just smile and nod,
Yeah, he's
Michael.
just smiling.
Yeah. Smile and nod, Michael.
But this is another example of a movie being brought to the stage.
But
Such
the
an
movie
interesting
only had a couple of her songs in it that she was well known for. The musical has a lot of her songs and is packed full of it.
And it's her music in the
Yes,
musical.
correct.
It's not that someone came and wrote songs
That is correct.
are Whitney Houston style.
And it played in London for a number of years, and it has not been able to make it to Broadway yet, but they've launched the national tour around the U.S., and it's another great show.
They don't need to make it to Broadway. They made it to Buffalo.
Exactly.
It's one of those shows too. I have noticed a lot of word of mouth, and you know, the media is just like buzzing with The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
It's nice,
It's the best.
really nice
The
coup to
best.
get that.
Yeah.
You still have things playing this season as well.
We do. We have Sound of Music, which is playing, starts a week from tomorrow, Tuesday night.
Traditional also.
So I know that The Sound of Music has played before at Shea's. I know because I went and I brought my kids, and it's a wonderful, wonderful musical to bring the family to. And there's a stunt that Bert does where he's actually dancing upside down.
No, Sound of Music, not Mary Poppins.
Oh, ignore me.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
She's still a little hung from the weekend.
I'm not really listening to
Or
anything
perhaps
Mary Kate's
Bert
saying.
was her
I'm gonna drink my
companion at
tea
the
now.
theater that night. I have no idea.
Okay, never mind. Take over, Mary Kate.
Well,
I have to drink my tea. I'm done. Here I
Sound of Music, such a traditional Rodgers and Hammerstein gift to the world, really.
Yes.
And
And
the
it's
iconic Julie Andrews played it originally on film, but it's enjoyed such a new life.
And Jack O'Brien, the director, reconceived it a bit, put a little bit of a new twist on it to make it, I wouldn't say contemporary at all, but to just look at it a little differently than what we think of in the original production. And it's gotten rave reviews across the country.
I've only heard wonderful things, Michael.
People
really.
are loving it,
Yeah.
and all the reviews from the critics around the U.S. have been phenomenal. I know a number of people who saw it in Los Angeles when it premiered there, and they could not have been more ecstatic about it.
Are there
that
still
just goes
tickets?
to, yeah, I think,
Are there
right?
still tickets?
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
But this goes to the argument of I've seen that musical before, you know, and
We think
every time it's new.
Yes.
You've seen the musical, maybe you've seen the movie. A handful of people have probably seen the stage show, but it's a new cast, and every time it's a new cast, it's a new show, and it's new energy. And bringing your kids out to live theater, even if it's something you're familiar with, I mean, there's so much value in that family time.
And about love, it's about family, it's about relationships, and it also has political undertones.
It does,
and,
it does.
Which are relevant at any time.
Yeah.
And I think that show really, that and Cabaret, which is coming up in another month, both deal with some of the politics that we've faced across the world, and I think they do it brilliantly.
Yeah, so much of theater and entertainment and music really does reflect the times.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that we're talking about two musicals, Sound of Music and Cabaret, are reflecting the times of World War II. And here we are in 2017, and they're still as important and meaningful. But even as classic, you know, Kander and Ebb's Cabaret what could go wrong? It's just an exquisite score. I'm so thrilled you're bringing these two classics to the stage.
And you know, of course, there's all the big shows and all the big musicals that we're talking about and we'll continue talking about. But let us not forget, Shea's has kind of these one-nighters that come in. You've got Teresa Caputo live.
Yes.
Wait, I knew she was coming.
She's coming. Oh, yeah.
And I believe she'll be, her hair might be.
Oh, and her nails.
Yeah.
Don't forget
And
the nails. But you know, you how do you open a car door with those nails or pick up? I don't know. So everyone thinks of Shea's, they think of the musicals, but there's so much more going on there.
There's always something going on. Yes.
And during the week, not just weekends, I think Teresa's coming like on Wednesday, right?
Yep. And school performances, there are things happening in the Smith, 710. There's something going on all the time.
So there's just always something to do that Shea's has.
Their educational component is unparalleled.
That's what I was going to say. Like
You know what?
the educational piece, the entertainment piece, the family
I
time,
want to talk about
all
the
the things that
educational
come.
piece. I want us to really, really kind of flesh that out when we come back, because you know what, we're going to need to go to a commercial in a moment. And so when we do, why don't we start the show talking about Shea's and their education program.
I love that.
Their fabulous education program. So Daily Buzz 716 will be back. Don't go anywhere. There's so much more to learn about Shea's. Welcome back to the Daily Buzz 716. When we left, we had just begun a conversation about Shea's and their education program. So, Michael, let's get right back to that. Shea's has a sparkling, amazing, wonderful education program.
We do, and there are on-school time performances where we bring in artists to perform on the Shea's main stage. Sometimes we do them in 710, but we also have programs like the Kenny Awards, which we were just talking about this weekend, Mary Kate and I, which is a way to honor high school students and their schools for the programming they do. And then the participants in that move on to the National High School Musical Theater Awards, also known as the Jimmy Awards, where two male and female get to go to New York and compete with students from around the country.
Such an opportunity. My daughter's school, Clarence, they won last year. And then, you know, when the school wins the Kenny Award, Shea's gives them a grant. They write them a check. They write the school drama program a check.
Well, the Kenny Award was founded by Ken Lipke, president of Gibraltar Steel, and hence the Kenny Award.
Right.
And Gibraltar Foundation is the supporting sponsor.
They write the check.
They write the check.
They write the check.
Awesome. And that was handed down to his granddaughter, Carlisle Lipke. So it's really, and that speaks to the whole, you know, generational thing in the Buffalo.
The kids from the local theaters actually get to perform on the Shea's stage, which is to see their faces and the excitement when they know that they're going to set foot on that stage, that historic stage, and look out into that huge theater. I mean, it's just so
There's
cool.
nothing better than an organization that gives back to our youth.
Right.
So awesome.
Right. Look at this.
Can you imagine?
Good glory. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Michael, would you just talk a little bit, speaking about the young people, the young performers, the young technicians, the young, you know, people who are interested in the performing arts and dance, the interaction they have with the union stage hands, lighting people, sound people.
Which is a great opportunity and experience for them
like
to
a master's
learn.
Class, right?
There are so many other things you can do in theater, and I think many of us in theater started out wanting to be actors. That's what first teases us and intrigues us and gets us involved. But then we go on and realize that there are a lot of other things we can be doing. And I've had a wonderful time being a stage manager and then moving on into administration. And people become designers for lighting, costume, scenery, all sorts of jobs.
It's just a wonderful opportunity that you offer. And yes, other theaters can offer it, but frankly, even speaking as a theater owner myself, There's nothing that brings them up to the clouds like
The magnitude.
being on stage at the Shea's.
Yeah.
It's really pretty something exquisite for them.
So, good segue there, Mary Kate. Being on stage at Shea's. So, we talked about On Your Feet. We talked about The Bodyguard, and you have next season coming up, The Lion King.
The Lion King is returning to Buffalo. Very excited about that. It's been a number of years since it's been to Buffalo. I think over 7 years, and audiences have been asking for it and wanting it, and we're able to now bring it back.
And what the
Everyone
Western
should
New
see
York
it.
audience wants. The Western New York audience.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll tell you, the Lion King. As soon as you're sitting in the audience and you feel you're totally surrounded, look at this. Look at this.
I can't wait to.
I cry. The first 30 seconds, I'm crying every time I see this.
This when it rises over. Oh, it's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And each performer is one with an animal in this wonderful kingdom that they've created. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful story brought to life. It's just, it's so different than the movie. I'm not, I don't mean to compare,
Well, you recognize
animated.
the music from the movie,
Yeah.
but when you see what people can do to create the same feeling that the cartoon, you can draw what you want, but then the idea that you can put that onto the stage, real people, real life.
I think putting real people on these as the characters gives the audience a better appreciation of the life and the importance of the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
I mean, they're us, we're them.
Well, I can't wait to take my children.
You must see it.
I can't
You
wait.
must
I can't wait.
see it.
And after The Lion King, you have Waitress.
Waitress,
That's the
Sarah
best.
Bareilles. She wrote the music, and she's an incredible singer and performer and composer. And she's actually taking over the role right now for a couple of weeks on Broadway. But it will be coming to Buffalo, and it's a story based on the movie about love, about female empowerment. It's really a touching story, and the music by Sarah is just really, really incredible.
And it's actually unique to have a woman who's written the show, who's written the music.
And a female director, and the
surprisingly
entire creative
unusual.
team is female.
Wow.
So this is the first of its kind to have that kind of opportunity for women to all work together that way on such a great piece
And
about women.
What a universally, what a universal connection you can make. I mean, there's no one that can't relate to this sort of setup,
Right.
And then
The
we've
working
got, let's
stiffs
see,
of
after
America.
Waitress, Something Rotten, March 6th.
The funniest show.
Totally.
Mary Kate and I were both talking about that. It is, it's a musical. It is a spoof of musicals. It takes place in Shakespeare's time, and it is a laugh riot. It's about two brothers trying to figure out what can they do to beat Shakespeare. How can they beat him at what he's doing? And an oracle or wizard suggests they write musicals, and they think that's stupid. But it is a laugh riot. Whether you know musicals or you don't, you're going to love it. It is the funniest nonstop laughing show I've been to.
Theater making fun of theater.
Yes.
Well, Shakespeare meets Monty Python meets, it really is hysterical. And even if you're not a Shakespearean, buff, but it's laughing. Isn't it great to laugh?
And it spoofs all the musicals that have been
All of
running.
it.
Awesome.
It's great.
Awesome.
It's really fun.
And then School of Rock, also based on a movie. We're seeing a lot of shows based on movies now. What are your thoughts on that?
If it's a good movie and a good product, then why not? And this is Andrew Lloyd Webber writing this, and it's based on the movie that starred Jack Black.
I did love that movie.
It was a good
That
movie.
was a funny movie too.
And the kids in this show all perform their own instruments. And Andrew Lloyd Webber, at the beginning of the show, makes an announcement over the loudspeaker saying, yes, the kids are really playing their own instruments.
So this show has spectacularly talented young people.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Wow. All right.
A lot of
Well, again, another commercial break. Stay with us. We will be right back with more with Michael and Shea's. Welcome back to the Daily Buzz 716. So much more to speak about with Shea's and Michael Murphy, so let's get right to it, Michael. Oh, so is there something wrong, Mary Kate?
No, I'm just living underneath Paris, France.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Bum, 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 bum. So, gee,
Mary
what
Kate the
show is
Phantom.
coming to Shea's, Mary Kate?
I'm the Phantom of WBBZ, but you're bringing the real Phantom to the stage again, which is like a gift every time it comes to town.
Longest running show on Broadway, right?
Yep.
How many years? Do you know? How many years? How many performances?
Oh, God,
I have
don't
no
know.
idea. I think you know.
Like a gazillion?
A
Something
gazillion.
like
I believe it's a gazillion.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
That's what I read.
a
Yeah.
scientific
I
number.
read the
Played
Times.
around
Yeah, it's a gazillion.
Yeah.
Okay, so Phantom's coming back, and you know it'll sell out. And then you have Love Never Dies.
Love Never Dies, which is
Tell us
the
about
sequel to Phantom. And it takes place 10 years later in Coney Island in New York. And the Phantom induces Christine Daae to come back, or to come over to the U.S., and she is going to perform at Coney Island one night, but she doesn't know that it's the Phantom who has called her there. And her husband, Raoul, who she married in the interim, has his own personal issues with gambling and drinking, and he ends up not in a good place by the end of the show.
Ah, and the moral of the story is, I guess she should have chosen the Phantom.
Yes.
Or someone invites you to go to Coney Island, say, I'm passing.
Say maybe.
But how colorful and awesome.
You can see that it's a gorgeous show. The scenery and lighting and costumes, beautiful. And of course, Andrew Lloyd Webber's wonderful music.
Yeah.
But how, look at this. Is she like in a locket there? And what a perfect place, Coney Island, to do any kind of theatrical parallel to the Masquerade.
Yeah.
You know, just with the tents and the colors. Boy, back to back, Phantom and Love Never Dies.
Yeah, I love
That's the package to buy, right?
Yep.
That's the two-show package that everyone's going to get a complete story.
All right, these are good. This is good. Andrew Lloyd Webber, fan of the opera. It's good, it's good, it's good, good. Moving on to the important stuff.
Who's on the $20 bill?
Hamilton is coming to Shea's. Hamilton, oh my gosh. Is everyone pounding on your door?
Well, they had been pounding on our doors before we
bring
announced it, and now we can tell them, yes, it's coming.
Michael, I'm so excited. Hamilton is coming to Buffalo. Oh my goodness.
It's just in the season, season.
It's in
not
the, it's
sure
in the
what.
following season,
Right.
1819, but we were able to announce it now to help keep people at bay.
Yeah.
And, and
People
like
were coming
you
with torches
three.
and
He said us three.
But wait a minute, he looked at me when he said it.
Yeah.
Keep
What-
people
what-
at bay.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
I'm
What are you
still
getting at there,
not-
lady?
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
still
know.
docking. It's a whole
Okay, so when do the tickets for Hamilton go on sale, and how can I be first in line?
Well,
Who do I need to be at
best
to
bet,
get a ticket?
The best bet to get Hamilton tickets is to be a subscriber this year.
Okay.
Subscribers this year will have the first dibs on Hamilton tickets for the following year.
So subscriber, but for this current season.
The season that starts in September.
Right. Okay.
With On Your Feet.
Okay. So if you want to make sure that you get into Hamilton, you need to be a patron.
And Shea's is really great about that.
Yep, and there are a lot of great shows to see this year.
Yeah.
And subscription, we started subscription renewals last week. They're going gangbusters. People are very excited about the current season, or the season that's coming up. They loved the current season as well, and they're very, very excited about Hamilton.
So did the renewals get first shot before
Yes.
new subscriptions? And so then when do the new subscriptions open up to the public?
People can subscribe now. For new subscriptions, they won't get seated until after all the renewals are
They won't
in.
choose where they are. I
Correct.
see. I see.
Can we just talk about when you announced your season? I know we've talked about it, but you were all set to have the big event during our 2-day, Stomageddon. And, but you came out like a rock star and went on the internet and did it live.
It took a while to tape that day, but we
so
got it up
cool.
and got it announced, and we had over 1,300 people who were going to be at Shea's that night for the season announcement, but we didn't disappoint. We still got it out.
It was just such a forward-thinking way to announce. It was really super cool. A lot of great feedback that I saw.
Well, and the way that Shea's announces its season, it had been a very unique a function where you're inviting subscribers and you're inviting the media in, and you're doing, you know, a taste of each show, and it's a whole event, and it's brilliant. And now theaters around the country have picked up on this fantastic idea of how to announce. Buffalo was first. It was our idea. We did it first. And
the thing I love about Shea's, or you know, what's going on right now is these ladies, lifetime theater buffs. But for someone like myself that hasn't been, I'm so excited right now. Good. So I mean, it pulls in the people that haven't been, but also keeps the people that have been very excited as well. So thank you for all that you guys are doing.
You're welcome. We're converting
That's
you.
awesome. Yes,
So
yes.
Before we go, Michael, tell us, so much has been accomplished. You know, from the time that Shea's was in such trouble of not being, you know, the fabulous location and landmark that it is, to this day. It's just come so far. But what do you hope to accomplish, you know, that maybe hasn't already been accomplished? There's so much has been done. There's always more to do, but share with us your vision a little bit.
You've been here since October. You've got to have a 5-year plan.
Don't let him off the hook.
Doing more with the 710 main space, and that is a place that, as we were talking about earlier, is a beautiful space, and I think there's even more that can be done there, both with full-staged productions and in the education programming, and also at the Smith Theater, which is right next door to Shea's, which Mary Kate has performed in as well. And there are more opportunities there that I think we can be bringing opportunities for local artists and out-of-town performers to do one night or multiple night engagements.
So you're going to really take the opportunity to focus on these alternative spaces, and they're spaces that are more well suited to really cater to the local artists.
And they also represent such Buffalo history. As we were talking, the Smith Theater is Laubie's Old Spain, which you wouldn't know, but I don't even know that you would know. It was an awesome, established, fabulous restaurant downtown. And
I remember it was the Swiss Chalet.
But to have this block of 710 Smith, Shea's, it's just a really wonderful piece of theater right there.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Michael Murphy. Buffalo is so glad you're here. We're so glad that you've got everything going in a great direction for Shea's, and we've got to have you back. I'm sure that you'll have to come back. We're not even going to ask you. We're telling you have to come back. Thank you, Western New York, for joining us today.
Well,
and
when he delivers your tickets to Hamilton, maybe he'll come back then. How's that?
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. And when we come back, we'll let you know how you can be a part of our studio audience.
I think that's a perfect idea.
I did. Good say though. Welcome back. Before Michael Murphy goes, we're going to put him on the spot. Michael Murphy, where are your favorite seats in the theater at Shea's? What's your favorite place to sit when you're watching a musical?
A lot of people like to sit in the orchestra. I prefer to sit in the loge. For a musical or dance, I really like being able to look down on the stage and be able to see the choreography and the movement.
Yeah.
To me, that's very interesting. But a lot of people like being down close in the orchestra, and I understand that.
But being up high and looking down, it's a big picture.
Yes.
It's the whole picture.
Yeah, that's what I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And maybe it's my theater background, being a stage manager, that I like to look at everything at once, but that's where I like to sit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What
Thank
a
you.
pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you here. And I said it before, I'll say it again, we can't wait to have you back. And we can't wait for Hamilton.
Yes.
Ladies, right? We can't wait for Hamilton.
But let me tell you, that get on your feet is mind-blowing.
Yeah?
Really.
Yeah.
It really honestly is. Even if for some bizarre reason you don't have Gloria Estefan on your iPad for walking, or you know, or iPhone or whatever, for your exercise or your walking music, we should be.
Well, okay, I want to know is that do you let people get up and dance? Are you letting people get up and dance in the rows? Is that like a fire thing, or if we go to On Your Feet, and am I going to get kicked? Mary Kay and I, we're going to get kicked out when we're like in the in the audience going.
No.
No.
We will let you.
You will.
We'll have the white coats ready, but we'll. Just kidding. Just kidding.
White girl dancing. Alert, white girl dancing.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on the Daily Buzz 716. And we'd love to have you here in studio. We'd love to have you in our studio audience and to participate with us. And you can go to our website, WBBZ-TV. You can like us on Facebook, Twitter. Get involved. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching WBBZ-TV.